Dude, we're totally in sync for this final episode of the final Smiths album.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the final episode with one of our hosts.
One of our dearly beloved hosts. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today.
The Prince song.
Let's go crazy. Okay, so we're here. This is it. This guy's going to be disappearing for a couple of years. 2 long years.
2 long years in the Tampa sunshine.
That's
and
right.
Rain and humidity.
And crazy people.
And crazy people.
Oh man!
And
all the best stories come out of Florida. If ever there's something crazy in the news, it's always somebody in Florida.
Florida man.
Serious. It's just like, Florida man does this. Florida woman does this. It's like
I like to subscribe to the idea that it's the same man.
wow, this guy really gets things done.
It's just the same man and the same woman that are committing all these weird things in Florida. They're just busy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's going to be fun. So we wish them good luck, and let's get on to the Smiths. Yeah, and good riddance. Fuck, we're getting cancer.
So Mark, where are we picking up at today?
We are picking up at Death at One's Elbow.
Death at One's Elbow. Okay, let's just jump into it.
Construction site? Oh my gosh.
I could go for more of this.
Oh yeah.
No, they should have done a New York version of this.
Yeah. Oh, that would have worked. Yeah, let's hear this charming Smith. This charming man, Manchester, or whatever it is.
No, it's a New York.
New York, baby.
So
that is. Hey.
Oh, actually, you know what? Before we get into this, I kind of wanted to talk about a few other things that I didn't get to last time because I wasn't thinking.
Hey.
Okay.
So just forget that you heard that little snippet right there. But let's go back to Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This one before.
I have heard it. So let's stop you right there. Oh yeah! Boom, 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 boom. Got him.
So this is the 7-inch single for Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This one. This is also the first Smith single I have ever owned. Funny enough, I bought this the same evening as a day where my dad was telling me about his record collection and the Smiths, and he said the only one out of all of the Smiths records that I did not have was the single for Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This one before. And then conveniently, I found it later that day.
And he rubbed it in Steve's face.
Yeah, but I collected 12-inch
singles. See that? You're like, Dad, look at this, sucker!
I rubbed it in his face, and that's why it won't play anymore.
He had that scratchy beard.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's
I cursed it.
It's a little scratched up on this side.
Okay,
I
so
keep
you
mine
Stop
hidden.
Me and then,
Which we'll get to later.
Let's see.
Yeah. So, okay,
I just thought that was a fun little...
What else? Did you have other things you wanted to?
I had one other thing, but real quick, I wanted to briefly talk about how there was a big mishap between Stop Me and I Started Something, and we talked about that when we got to I Started Something. So go back and watch that episode if you want to recap on the deal with why there's a blue version of this and a red version of this. Unfortunately, I have the blue American one. That means no inscriptions, no rough trade.
No, nothing.
Only Sire.
Worst single ever that you got.
First single.
Okay.
First single ever. Man.
And
Did
then
I say
the other
worst?
thing,
No, you misheard me.
And then the other thing that I wanted to kind of point out was this other line that I liked in
it's kind of screwed up. Vulgar picture.
The other line that I like in Paint a Vulgar Picture is hold on. I walked a pace behind you at the sound check. You're just the same as I am. What makes most people feel happy leads us headlong into harm. I like that one. I feel the same way too. Walking, like going to a concert or whatever, you see the people who are up on stage and you're like, that could be me. And in fact, those people are just people.
Yeah.
They're just the same as you are. You just gotta, you just gotta have a little bit of effort and work, talent, and a lot of luck.
Yeah, that's the thing. We put them up on a pedestal, but they're just, and you have all these things. Oh, if I met him and talked to him, you get all this wisdom. They're just regular people.
Yeah.
Depeche Mode said it best. People are people.
So why should it be you and I should get along so awfully?
That's right.
And that's why I'm leaving, because Mark and I
are getting along so awfully.
Getting along awfully. Okay, so anyway, Glenn.
I'm just about ready to rip this kid's head off.
That's
Hey,
right.
Glenn.
Get off of here.
Oh, Glenn.
Okay, so interesting, quick fact.
Thank you for sharing.
Here,
this.
play that beginning again. Just
the beginning again?
Yeah, how bad this cheesy start.
And then the railroad track.
Yeah. Okay, so again, Morrissey's little BBC soundtrack has struck again.
Yeah.
With the jackhammer. That's from there.
Yeah.
This is interesting because it's a rockabilly song, but it's cheesed up really awfully.
This is the one song I don't know what to make of it because it I just don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a weird. It's like it's kind of the rockabilly-ish is cheesed up. It's got that but it's not. It's cool. And it's got the distorted harmonica, that reminds me of some of Led Zeppelin stuff. That it's just kind of, or later the Johnny played a lot of the distorted harmonica.
Yeah.
It's just, you can hear the rockabilly, but it's just not as rocking as you want.
Yep, like what's that?
There's something about it that maybe it's that echo that he's singing with that cheeses it.
I don't know. Maybe it's the name of the song that's getting it for me. Death at One's Elbow.
Well, the Death at One's Elbow comes from a writer, some poet in the 60s, a writer. He I think his grandmother had died, and they had her down in her body down in the TV room. So if you were watch TV, you'd be basically having Death at One's Elbow. That's what but yeah, it's kind of like, okay, so let's see. Oh, Glenn, don't come to the house tonight. Oh, Glenn, don't come to the house tonight because there's somebody here who really, really loves you. And then later, because there's somebody. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of this song is probably the weak point on the album.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this song. Kaz want to listen to the end of this.
No, I just said keep it.
Oh.
I just said, here. Keep it.
You want to hear that groan at the end?
Yeah. The belch, you mean?
Or something.
I don't hear it.
What do you mean? Listen.
He says goodbye, my love.
Okay, turn it up.
Oh, that's
No.
He was trying to say his ABCs.
No, pause it.
ABC.
No, but that, never mind,
What?
No, it's just the transition. I was going to have it there so when we moved over to I Won't Share You, that...
Oh. Yes,
I like that transition from the... to the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
okay, I'll leave it there. I got it back there. Don't worry.
Well, so this...
Right. All right, but...
Dude, we gotta get this guy out of here.
I know, he's just giving me too much attitude.
Now look at him.
For 19
Mr.
years.
Executive here. 19 long years.
So, when I heard this song the first few times, I thought the words were not "Oh Glenn," but rather "Oh Death," and so I always had this image of it's Morrissey throwing a party and just hoping that someone doesn't die at his party. So he's boarding up the windows or whatever, pleading with death, hooded, scythe.
I thought I misheard lyrics.
No, I'm.
No, that would actually be interesting, trying to keep death out of his house.
Yeah.
I'm having a party, please, death.
And he's
What was that
trying to
movie?
fight death. I don't know. It's not at all
It's not what
what
he
the
said.
lyrics are.
Anyway.
It was a funny little image in my mind.
It's just kind of it's just not as well produced. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't have that same feel that some of their other rockabilly stuff has.
It's probably just because they were going to put in Heavy Track, which we played before on the last episode, and then Morrissey didn't like it, and so Johnny Marr had to come up with something else, and I feel like this was just a little bit rushed.
Yeah, it does say belch.
Yeah.
Look, and in Italian that's ruto is belch. Ruto. So he does burp at the end, and there is, like I said, there's a part they actually cut that belch short because he actually does his whole ABCs. All right. So okay, so
Do we have much else to say on this one?
I
No,
don't.
it's the rockabilly song that misses. It just doesn't have
Boy,
that
does
same,
it ever.
It doesn't have that train track moving. I mean, it's got the sounds it's
it has
supposed to
the
be there,
sounds
but
like.
it just doesn't move you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
doesn't keep.
it doesn't go.
Here's the thing for me is it's just over 2 minutes. It's a few seconds over 2 minutes, so I don't
half
mind
is the
it
burp.
that much.
That would have been cool if Morrissey burped the whole song. Okay. Anyway, now that would have made it interesting.
Definitely.
So now we come to
Okay, here, let me go back a few.
we gotta get that
That's
burp
good.
I want to get back to 10
To-
seconds.
song that
That's
Morrissey
good.
was singing directly to Johnny Marr.
Okay.
Yeah, like, it just doesn't connect.
I won't share you.
Oh,
I won't share you with the joy
What?
and ambition.
what? No, let's talk about this song, but there's something I
This is
forgot.
my time.
Okay. So this one's interesting because that little instrument, the
Mandolin?
no, it's not a mandolin. It was some kind of old, lute or something. That they had in the studio that Johnny Marr took down.
That's it.
Kinda
I bet I
started
could play
tuning it
this.
around. Started tuning it, yeah, and
I'll just pause it.
so Morrissey talks about it in his autobiography. He's like, Johnny just took down this thing, and it was so. All of a sudden, he started tuning it, and then he played it. So they kept it. It is just such a different sound. But very interestingly, note is that this song, I Won't Share You, is the exact same chord and chord changes that Ask is.
Really?
Yeah. But it sounds so different. And Johnny's like, I'm glad I didn't realize that I was doing the same thing, because then I wouldn't have done, the song wouldn't even sound like it does. But that instrument made such a, gave it such a distinct sound. Anyway, I really like this song. You guys, do you want me to keep talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna try and find the name of that instrument.
One of my favorite parts is the note I wrote is wrote was read, she said, "Has the Perrier gone straight to my head, or is life sick and cruel instead?"
Yeah.
Yes. No, no, no. Anyway, I love that line. The Perrier goes straight to your head.
Yeah.
So funny.
Because Perrier isn't really like.
It's not alcoholic.
Yeah, it's not a hard drink. It's just like carbonated water.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is just a super cute song, but song that people, especially after the Smiths did finally break up, they thought, everybody was looking for songs off this album that were like, look, you could tell right here, that they were going to break up. Anyway, guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
So
remember this podcast we're on? Because I'm kind of done talking.
Okay, so I won't share you. I always felt this was from Johnny's wife to Morrissey about Johnny.
Yeah, but Johnny did. It was written by Morrissey.
I know, but I always felt it was Morrissey writing this song from Johnny's wife's viewpoint.
Yeah, but we talked about this before. No,
Yeah.
the auto harp is that. Here, play it a little bit more. You can hear it kind of.
I won't share
Okay.
you.
You'll hear it in a minute.
I won't share
Where's the? That's the auto harp that they're talking about. Sing it, I can hear it. I swear it's there. Wait, there's the accordion. Maybe it's towards the end. Yeah, I think it's towards the end. Okay, we don't want to get down here. Okay. That's the auto harp.
Yeah.
So it's basically.
This is what Stephen Street says. He says, "There was this auto harp lying around in the studio. I remember it sitting in one of the windowsills as you went up the stairs, and one day Johnny dusted it down. It had been sitting around for ages, so he tuned it up and he started playing these chords. It sounded absolutely beautiful, so we recorded it there and then. A few days later, Morrissey came in and put his vocal on top. It was one of those tracks that sent a little chill down your spine."
What the heck's an auto harp?
So
Let me look it up real quick.
okay, so anyway,
Oh, it's this old tiny thing.
what?
Like one of
yeah.
these weird.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like it almost looks like a steel guitar, but I don't know. Somehow Johnny was strumming it though. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever.
So anyway,
that is how you play it.
yeah.
But this guy. Oh dang, Celia. Never mind. Oh shoot.
This is an auto harp.
Okay. Go.
Way to go, Mark.
What an idiot.
So anyway, Kaz.
Anyway, so it's this weird thing.
Anyway, I always felt that it was written from what was Johnny's wife's name again?
Angie.
Angie, that's right. Dang, Angie. So it was basically written from Angie's point of view, directed at Morrissey, but talking to Johnny. Like, I'm tired of sharing you with
Yeah,
him.
but
I'm not going to anymore.
There was never any animosity.
You're right. There never
She
was.
actually,
But I was,
like, Morrissey and her were girlfriends.
Yeah.
They were like,
In fact-
they go out shopping and stuff,
yeah.
when
No.
they're-
I understand
So-
that, but I always. But again, this was from
Yeah.
Morrissey's thought of Angie's perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Morrissey.
And you know how Morrissey is.
I do know how Morrissey is.
So you remember how last episode I said that Stephen Street should be considered the fifth Smith?
Uh huh.
Morrissey actually says that Angie Marr should be considered the fifth Smith. That he felt close enough to her, and she was such an influential part of that group of friends at the time, that she really made an impact on each and every one of them.
Oh, yeah. Yes, she was super supportive, but, of the band and encouraging, but I think somebody who actually affected their music would be Stephen Street.
Yeah, no.
But I'm not discounting Angie Marr and all her support for the band, and especially probably helping Morrissey kind of feel
more.
Yeah, just anyway.
Okay, so
But-
now.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
Stevie. I forgot that at Death is One's Elbow, we were that's Johnny Marr's, but he does the backing vocals in that.
Yes.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, that's the one where he does it.
Oh, okay.
So let's. Well, we don't
I
need to
can-
hear it, but
Well,
you hear somebody backing vocals, and that is Johnny Marr. So, is there anything you want to say about this song? It's pretty neat little instrumentation and stuff.
It's a nice way to end the album.
Yeah.
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 So, it's a nice way to end the album and a really sad way to end the band. But nobody knew it was going to be the last album.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting little note is I Won't Share You is actually the same sort of chords and chord structure and everything as Ask, which is...
I said that already.
Oh, frick.
Yeah,
You were so busy reading.
I'm sorry, Mark. You asked me what an auto harp was. I tried to find...
No, I'm just joking. But I second what Kaz said right there. No, but remember you guys
I'm
were
tired and
no,
done.
no, it's but yeah, it is.
I just think it's really interesting that Ask is like a cry for like openness and like communication, and I Won't Share You is kind of like
the opposite.
the breakdown of communication.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sharing you, so don't ask.
All right, so
Okay.
here's what I want to know.
Okay.
Around this time, there was a big problem.
Well, okay.
And Andy Rourke and Mike Joyce came up with an idea to confront somebody. So let's hear about that.
Well, okay. So what happened? Well, I don't know, but what happened after this album? They had just finished this album after a long tour. Johnny Marr decides, I'm going on vacation. A 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
Him and Angie finally. Oh, speaking of Angie,
Yep.
they were. I mean, he'd been touring, and so they're.
And they never had like a proper
Yeah, they never
honeymoon or
had a
anything.
proper honeymoon. I mean, they got married over in San Francisco while they were on tour, all that stuff. So Johnny's getting ready to get out of there. All of a sudden, they're in but there starts to be some problems, like we talked about, with the manager. What was his name?
Ken Friedman.
Yeah, where they didn't like him, and so they.
No, I thought Johnny liked him.
Where the rest of the band didn't, because they felt that they were interfering. And Morrissey actually at one point said, or Johnny had the feeling that he just wanted. He said to Johnny, "What? I just want things to go back the way they were." And Johnny was like,
The way they were.
I can't. Yeah, the way they were. They can't. I was managing us. We need some help. And so they decided to sack Ken Friedman he had set up, like we talked about, a videotaping, and that's the one where Morrissey didn't come out and was talking through the little mail thing.
I like to imagine that like a cartoon, like you just see his big old lips pop out through the thing.
Yeah. So he wouldn't even come out and totally embarrass, Ken Friedman and stuff, and Ken Friedman ended up quitting, and there was just all these things. So Johnny wanted to get together and talk to everybody in the band about stuff. Okay. And they're like, we need to. Hey, Johnny starts trying to talk to him, and he feels that there's been a shift in alliances, where suddenly Mike Joyce was the spokesman for the band, or for the rest of the guys, and gosh, I'm trying to think how to explain it. Basically, Johnny's idea was, hey, let me go on vacation for 2 weeks and let things cool down, right?
Yeah.
And then we can talk whenever I get back. But they're like, no. And Mike's like, we got this great, we're gonna do Celia Black song. Work is a 4-letter word, He was the one. Suddenly, he was the one that was speaking up for Morrissey, or presenting Morrissey's ideas. Is there something you wanted? Because
I've never heard this. I'm
so
learning this for
they're
the first
meeting,
time.
and he's like, and he's thinking, Johnny's thinking in his head, we just finished a whole freaking album. You guys want to go back into the studio and record some B-sides for singles that aren't gonna, for a single that's not going to come out for another year? I want to go on vacation, and so they kept on badgering him in this thing. So he's like, okay, we'll do it. We'll record the B-sides, and it was for the girlfriend in girlfriend in a coma
and
stop me. The B-sides. So Johnny's like, okay, we're not gonna. Well, I'll postpone my vacation. But after that, we're going. So they get into the studio, and that's where he's presented with, from Mike, the idea of doing the Celia Black song.
Yeah.
The stupid song. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Okay, so you just finished this awesome album, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, this is the next song we're gonna do after, and all of a sudden they play this. I mean, this is the song.
There are girls that some men will slave for to provide the things that they crave for. Why do you think work is a four-letter word?
But they cut off the first verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but all of a sudden that's what you're presented with. You cut your vacation to record these things, and that's the song, and you're giving it by Mike Joyce. Like
Yeah.
a guy that's not even 25% of the band, at least in your opinion.
Yeah. So it.
That would piss me off so hard, so bad.
So a few other songs
Oh, well,
were brought forward as ideas, and it's a cover of Now and Then There's a Fool Such as I, which was an Elvis song.
and they actually worked on it,
Yeah.
but it just didn't. Johnny was just like, this one's not working out.
Yeah, and then there were a couple instrumental pieces that just never really got around to anything.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's hear the Smiths' work as a four-letter word. And this is, remember, I actually, when I first found this song, I got the Girlfriend in a Coma, and I was like, oh my gosh, a new Smiths song. And I was like, I liked it.
Yeah.
But whenever you look at it, Johnny, I basically puts this one on the level of Golden Lights on his page.
Is driving me crazy. People say that
You can hear that there's like the
work is a four-letter word.
drums are kind of cool.
I like that little riff right there.
But
Yeah.
Johnny just, his heart wasn't in it. They had finished the album. There was this communication that actually during some of the Strangeways stuff, or was it? Dang it. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. So it's just kind of like but it's such a non-Smith song.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics, like what? Like how is this even? It doesn't even fit in with the catalog at all.
Yeah.
I don't mind work as a four-letter word.
No, I like it.
I like it too, but I agree with Johnny at that point. It's like, wait a second, you told me to cut my vacation short to do this crap? I mean, we can do covers any damn time we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I know, but Austin Morrissey starts giving, oh, let's do works for a letter word. Let's do a fool such as I. It's like, what? Why? Why are we write our own songs. You can borrow and steal from, other songs and put it into your song, but it's got to be super frustrating.
Here's another thing. This actually wasn't in the same studio that they recorded Strangeways.
Oh, this is the one with what's his face, right?
Yeah,
Grand
Showbiz.
Yeah.
And-
It was essentially
and-
just like at his house.
Morrissey, one thing that Grand Showbiz talks about is that during this and some of the end of Strangeways, Morrissey might have been drinking a lot, and actually there's points where he was was being aggressive sometimes. That was made people uncomfortable. Yeah,
Aggressive.
Just like,
yeah, well, like
Angry aggressive?
yeah,
Yeah.
angry aggressive.
although there were times where the band just kind of laughed it off, where Morrissey would be so just like drunk that he'd be wandering around the room just going, "Give me a cigarette." Just like kind of slurring the words, and everyone was like, "Morrissey, you don't smoke."
Yeah.
And he just kept going around to everyone.
Well, the problem is that during this whole time it's frustrating, and here's why. So I found this in Morrissey's autobiography, and this is back from the early tours. I mean, this is where they had actually been, right? So they go off to New York, and they're basically in New York trying to do a couple of gigs, and Morrissey calls Jeff Travis and says, "Jeff, there are cockroaches on the bed."
Oh yeah.
And Jeff says, "Well, it's only for a few nights." Like, no, but you can tough it out for a few nights. No freaking way. So he attempts to find the other members of the band. Nobody's answering their door.
Yeah, I remember.
He has no cash. He doesn't have a credit card yet. He is like completely
This is on the
dirt
Meet His
poor.
Murder tour.
Yeah.
This is the first time they.
This is like he's completely dirt poor. He's just walking around Manhattan. Doesn't want to come back to his hotel room. Once he finally does get back to his hotel room, he goes up to his room.
No bag.
Yeah, his bags are completely gone at this point.
He
He's
runs down, he's
panicking.
crying at the
Yeah,
desk.
he runs downstairs. He's like, "What's going on?" They're like, "We moved you to another room." That's the way he says it. We moved you to another room. And so,
Yeah. Well,
and then he says this. He says, "I sleep fully clothed in the new room. All lights burning."
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I mean,
that's where they came from.
it was a lot of things they did were on a shoestring budget, but this was supposed to be the end. They were They finally
made it
out of rough trade. They were finally getting out of rough trade, and
they just can't give Marr 2 weeks. I mean, after going through that,
It's
and
like-
then be told, "Hey, you can't go on
I know, but
vacation."
they're going big time. They're going to EMI. You know?
EMI.
Hello, EMI.
And so that's why I bring up that last one, is because I can feel Marr's frustration. He's like,
Yeah.
"Wait a second. We've been in the worst pits, going on tour, being literally pushed on stage." I'm not cutting you off.
No.
Okay. So literally pushed on stage to get out there. They're like, "We just need some good sleep." They're like, "Nope, get out there." And they're pushed out on stage.
And they're not even getting
Yeah.
much money for touring. It's
Yeah.
this crazy contract. Anyway,
And so it's like,
so sad. It's so
I'm
sad.
finally going to get 2 weeks off where I can just spend with my wife and get away from all the stress and pressures. But no, there's Mike Joyce saying, "No, I think we're going to go ahead and get back into the
he's
studio."
the
And,
spokesman for the band.
yeah.
So anyway, the song's cute and whatever, it's. I remember when I first heard, I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I found a new Smith song."
Kaz?
With these like last few B-sides, you can almost like hear Marr just like
On his way out, he's all.
It's like The Simpsons when Homer becomes Colonel Homer. He's like, "Hold on, let me stop you there, Lurley."
The suit was made out of space age material. Sweat actually cleans the suit.
Johnny Marr is like Marge Simpson on that one. The producers stop it like,
Like, what's that?
"Hold on, Lurley, we're getting some kind of feedback on the line. We don't know what it is."
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah,
do that
basically.
well.
Well,
That hurts.
and one of the funny things that was pointed out in the book is that Johnny Marr tried really hard on Strangeways, to keep it away from the jingly jangly thing. Also on this, he's just like,
He's
screw
right
it.
back to
He's
it.
back to it. He's like, "You know what? Let's just get these done. I can do that."
Yeah.
So it's just funny. You can really hear it. So let's go.
The next one is "I Keep Mine Hidden,"
which is actually a song that Johnny thought was pretty good.
Yeah, but by this time he was checked out.
Yeah, he had been checked out. He was trying to
not
get this
that it was
stuff
a
done.
bad thing. I mean, I get why he was checked out, but he was checked out.
It wasn't. His heart wasn't in these. Just listen to the music. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like something I could do. I mean, I'm not putting myself on the same level at all, but it's like.
Yeah. You just need me to play these 3 chords? I can do that.
Yeah. So actually, you know what? An interesting thing is that Morrissey's whistling was even longer.
And they cut it?
They cut it shorter, yeah. Morrissey's got a good whistle, though.
Well, the thing is that...
Whoa! Let's hear the...
Oh.
Whoa! Where he goes into the chorus. That's...
Of course I keep mine hidden.
Oh wait, that was the part I wanted to hear.
Oh, that's the...
Easy for you. Because you let your flames apparently view. Yellow and green, a stumbling block, I'm a transit.
Okay, one interesting thing that yellow and green is a stumbling block
Yeah.
is that there's these antidepressants that were yellow and green,
Yeah.
and so you take them for a stumbling block. They block your feelings. and
Oh,
stuff.
I always thought
Morrissey
it was the price tags at Rockaway Records and Stinkweeds, yellow and green.
Yeah, because Morrissey went to those really frequented Arizona local
$100 for
record
Kelly
shops.
Savalas sings.
$50, heck yeah!
So anyway, I mean, so now we can talk about. So Johnny Marr goes in, and he said basically, "Hey, we'll talk when." He's out the door. He's like, "We'll talk when we get back."
Yeah.
Or we'll actually he doesn't say that specifically. He just says we'll see whenever we get back. He doesn't say anything specifically. He's on vacation, and then all of a sudden the newspapers report that there's a rift in the Smiths. Somebody, an insider with the Smiths, had let it spill. So he comes back from vacation, and it's already out that the Smiths are splitting up. And it's
Which at this point is completely false.
Well,
It's completely false at this point.
at this point, but somebody inside the Smiths had let it leak out. That they were having trouble or whatever. So Johnny comes back. At first, he just doesn't even say anything about it. He's waiting for the guys to come over and talk to him, so they can talk to get it. And then he's like, "F it." That's what he says. And he's just like, "You know what? Screw it."
Yeah,
These
and
guys.
he calls the enemy.
Then he's like, "Okay, yeah, we're broke. We're broken up." And
He
he
just
goes-
says that I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
And then all of a sudden, but then he starts, and then right away, the band.
Says we're not broken up. We're going to keep going.
And we're looking for somebody to replace Johnny Marr. So the band's like, basically like we're done with him. We're going and so they actually Jeff Travis suggests to Johnny, "Oh, I got this guy that maybe you would like to try out for it." And then Johnny's like, "No, I'm not interested," but also next thing you know, on the front page, this guy's saying, "Oh wait, this is Morrissey." Oh, gosh, I'm mixed up. But suddenly this guy says, "I rejected even trying to be with Morrissey." Anyway, there's all this stuff going on. The press is just having, at the death of this band, just like in the,
It's
and
the day
the crazy
they've been
thing
waiting for.
is that they haven't even released Strangeways Here We Come.
Yeah.
The band's broken up before they release Strangeways.
Okay, so here's Morrissey in his own words.
Yeah.
An unnameable insider tells all, and the press launches stories of bitter feuds during catty sessions for Strangeways Here We Come. These we're all assured are the facts. These, we are all assured, are the facts. And professional fusspot Anthony Wilson jumps in with, the Smiths have broken up because Johnny has had enough of Morrissey. Of unmerited renown, Wilson was never too busy to stick the boot in.
Well, see, interestingly, though, Morrissey and that same, he goes on to say, well, Johnny never spoke up and said that, you know, in defense of me or whatever. You know what? Johnny didn't, just because somebody says something false doesn't mean Johnny has to stick up for Morrissey.
So
And he starts saying, oh, well, Johnny's silence means that it was true or something. I don't know.
Press reports tell us confidently that Johnny has left the country to work with Talking Heads.
Yep. And he had.
And so the thing is everyone suddenly has an expert eye, and you just might find yourself contemptibly savaged or disadvantaged by scientific studies of what went wrong, even though those who announce something's rotten in the state of Denmark cannot possibly have any way or means to account for their misinformation.
So
here's how Jeff Travis responds.
Jeff Travis.
Well, smiles Jeff Travis ruefully. The general opinion is that side 1 of Strangeways is terrific and side 2 is very weak. By general opinion, Jeff means solely his own opinion.
Did he take off his glasses to talk? Yeah.
Jeff makes a statement knowing that side 2 tucks away paint a vulgar picture which vibrates negative electrons at someone in Jeff's humanitarian position.
Alright, so, you know, all this non-communication, all these verbal or non-verbal things that they just kind of ended up building up, and the Smiths broke up without even officially breaking up.
Yeah.
I mean, later in Morrissey's thing, whenever he finally gets a chance to talk to Johnny at a pub that they meet, this is in
94?
No.
Oh,
This is more recently. Whenever.
Oh, you mean
he's like
2006 or so?
Yeah, Morrissey actually yells at him and still upset. You know, because Johnny was trying to tell him, well, you don't know what happened and blah blah, which he didn't because they never clarified it. But Morrissey's like, you left. Why? You know. Anyway, so it's still up in the air, debatable on exactly what happened. All we know is Johnny Marr went on vacation, came back, and they were broken up, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they still had some singles to come out and an album. And like he said, and they possibly had written some songs. Other ones that came out later with Morrissey's solo album.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that
Another time.
So,
real quick. One of the rumors that I think is really funny is when the band got together right before Johnny decided to just call it quits completely, one of the things they were talking about is, can we even still be together? And one of the rumors is that Johnny Marr brought up, if we are going to still be a band, I'm making a new rule. No more quiffs. And Morrissey shrieked.
no more clips. What? My hair! My beautiful hair! Right?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if that's true. Probably
That's
not,
probably
but it's
not
funny.
true.
Okay,
Morrissey shrieked.
this is another funny story for Morrissey from Denver. This is after the Smiths broke up. The Smiths' fallout continues in Denver, where someone has held an entire radio station at gunpoint until DJs make the promise to play Smiths music. Unwittingly, This gunman is providing the very first active radio promotion on behalf of the Smiths, and evidently a loaded gun is what it takes to get a Smith song on the airwaves.
That's right. That's funny.
So,
Well, that's a fan. That's a devoted fan.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
he claims that Johnny joined the Pretenders and then was asked to leave almost immediately.
Yeah, well, it's all hearsay because
That's all hearsay.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. It's he said, he said, he said.
Yeah. So anyway,
He said, he said.
It's Morrissey hears on the wind. Johnny Marr was in the band.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is
Well,
that you read Johnny's thing, it's different, you know.
well, he said that Chrissy told him
No.
that Johnny was always late
yeah,
to the
yeah, I
meetings
know.
and-
You know, that's the thing is that Morrissey, in his autobiography, always is taking little stabs at people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they didn't do this, you know. So and giving compliments, but also slapping them.
Yeah.
At the 1 minute complimenting them and then another minute not.
Yeah.
But so this is the end of the Smiths,
Yep.
which is sucky, but
Sad.
yeah. But what are you gonna do? I mean, they had a great run.
One more story. So that Mark and I will get into because we're still going to keep doing this. We're still going to go over some of the Smith stuff and also Morrissey solo stuff. So at the end of the band, they try to carry on. They get
Roddy Frame
between Roddy Frame and Nick Kent and a few other people,
and
Craig Gannon
and what's his name? Vinnie Riley.
Vinnie Riley. They all try to kind of make a go of it, and Morrissey's like, no, let's just cut it here. The Smiths were yesterday, we're in today, so we got to move forward without them. But he didn't have a permanent band. He just had studio players come in and play. But he was keeping Rourke and Joyce around for a while. And
Well, he's. Oh, go ahead.
well, the thing is, he still wanted to have some semblance of continuity and stability. And as he got through the Viva Hate sessions and then the Bona Drag singles, what had happened was he couldn't bear to have Rourke and Joyce around anymore because they just kept opening up the wounds from the Smiths because it was just. It wasn't that they were doing anything bad. In fact, Rourke wrote a beautiful B-side for November. Just a beautiful B-side that I
Morally Slightly.
yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, I just absolutely love that.
Well,
And-
I know. Well, see, I'm pretty sure though for Viva Hate. Well,
No,
we can talk about this.
they weren't
weren't
on
on
for-
there
no.
for that, but then he started using them later for the singles. But then there's things that happened that we'll talk about.
Yeah, that we'll talk about. But the funny
That-
thing is this is where the whole problem with Joyce started happening.
Yeah, all of a sudden, there's the thing where the lawyer wrote.
Yep. This is
You know,
Joyce's lawyer writing to
Right,
Morrissey.
said, "Hey, we want you to make Mike Joyce part of the permanent Morrissey band."
Yep.
And Morrissey's like, "I don't even have a band," and or if you don't, there's going to be
Yeah, we're
legal.
gonna sue
We
you.
have cases or a case,
Yeah, that was the
to
weird
sue
thing.
you, and then so it came back, and it ended up happening that they.
Yeah,
That's-
that was the weirdest part. It's like either make him a permanent member of your group going forward,
We're going to sue you,
or we're going to sue you for Smith's royalties. It's like, wait,
and that's
what?
when Morrissey dropped him.
Yeah,
That's when Morrissey's like, "Okay, I'm done with him."
yeah. I don't have any need for him.
And then
And I'm so glad too because the drummers he's had since Joyce. Not saying Joyce is a bad drummer. He's actually a
a
pretty
great
decent drummer. But in his
Pretty
solo,
decent.
career, I'm sorry, but some of the other drummers he's had, like the drummers through Your Arsenal,
Like what's his name? Spencer Cochran.
yeah, Spencer Coburn, awesome drummer. Love that guy. And the current drummer he has, I forget his name.
Oh yeah.
But when I saw him in the video for Spend the Day in Bed, I even stopped Kaz. I was like, "Whoa, wait, is that Spencer? Is he back already?" Because it looked like Spencer Coburn, and it wasn't. But the guy is just as good. I mean, I think the band the players that Morrissey has right now are a very, very solid set. I love Jesse Tobias. He can write a neat song.
I mean, it's been a long journey it's been a long journey to get a new band finally all formed around.
I mean, I like Elaine White too. I loved Elaine White,
but so the Smiths is dead.
Smiths are done.
And that was it.
But the thing is, is that even after the Smiths were done, Morrissey felt like he was locked into something because but the thing is that he didn't have anybody to turn to because at this point, Joyce and Rourke were like, oh, well, if there's legal stuff, we're not really the Smiths. We're not 25%.
Yeah.
It's
and
all
Johnny
Morrissey.
Marr. That's the thing. They signed the contract as Johnny Marr and Morrissey.
Yeah.
The Smith, but EMI didn't care about. They didn't even go after.
They didn't go after Marr.
They didn't go after Johnny Marr. They wanted the new records from Morrissey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
That's what I wanted to say. Go ahead, Kaz.
So even like during Viva Hate and after the breakup of the Smiths, well into like the early 90s, Morrissey he very much wanted a reunion to happen with the Smiths. He says in February 1988, I would be totally in favor of a reunion, which isn't to cast doubts on the album or immediate future. If a reunion never occurs, I'm sure I'll be quite happy as I am, but yes, I do entertain those thoughts, and as soon as anybody wants to come back to the fold and make records, I will be there. In another interview, which I can't find in here for some reason, someone asks him what he would say if Johnny Marr called him up one day and asked him if he wanted to make some songs again, and Morrissey's response was, "Well, you know what bus I'd be on right away," or something to that effect.
Short bus.
No,
I'm going to the funny farm.
just saying like
Strangeways, here I come.
I can't remember what the exact quote was, but basically
he
he is just saying, I would be on the first bus to Johnny's house.
Okay, so
And you know why you'd have to take the bus, right? Because he can't drive.
Johnny can't drive either, but that's a different. No, Johnny can now.
Well, I mean, he
But
drove back
he
then.
never
He
had
didn't
his
do
license.
it well.
Yeah, I remember hearing about the lawyer thing. But
Yeah, the crash.
scaring the crap out of no, but the first time, he's like, "Whoa!" Going around corners with the lawyer. Anyway, that was with the lawyer that. But so okay, last question of the podcast.
Yep.
If the Smiths were to reunite, would you see them?
Absolutely, yes.
I have no hesitation to say, heck yeah, just leave Mike Joyce out of it.
Yeah.
Serious, get a different drummer. I wouldn't
was
even
the thing.
care
Keep the
about
drummer you have now.
Was,
keep the drummer you have now.
Keep Mike
Johnny
Joyce out of
Marr,
it, dude.
Johnny
He
Marr
took me
talks
freaking
about
bored.
it in the book when Morrissey and Marr got back together at the cafe or whatever in the mid-2000s that they were seriously considering a Smiths reunion, and so Johnny Marr is making all these phone calls, and he purposefully puts it in the book that he makes sure to leave Mike Joyce out of the phone calls. He's like, well, we need a new drummer, so...
Yeah, so I mean, if Mike Joyce came, I'd like to meet Mike Joyce. He's still a Smith.
Yeah.
And if they did the tour, I would definitely see him.
I would go see
For
him
sure. I mean, I'm sorry, reissue, repackage, whatever. I'm all for it. So I'm not some kind of purist like, oh, I would see him, and I love it when Morrissey plays Smith songs. I love when Johnny Marr plays Smith songs still.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the thing is now we're at the end of the Smiths, and we still got one more thing to cover, which Mark and I can cover.
Yeah.
But we're also at the end of having 3 people in the Handsome Hooligans.
Well, you might find another sheep.
We will never find somebody.
25%.
We will never find anybody as cool as the Kaz.
You mean you'll never find anyone who will be content with 25?
Yeah.
Now, as Kaz's dad, I'm very proud of him, but at the same time, I'm also very sad to see him go.
I'm sad of him.
And Mark will be sad too. He's just gonna say, Tanya, can you stand in front of the TV and twirl around for me? Just to remind me.
Like Kaz hasn't done that for like.
I'll do it again, Mark.
Do it just for old time's sake, Kaz. Give us a spin. No, okay. Well,
What's that
but
quote
hey, let's always
from?
look on the bright side.
I think
The
that's
Smiths
a good
are
idea.
over. The 3-person This Charming Smithscast is over for now.
But we are the Handsome Hooligans.
Signing off, Mark
Steven
and
Casimir.
Kaz.
and Kaz. He's the best there is. But, you know,
Some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle,
Oh yeah,
grumble, give a whistle.
this is perfect
This'll
for works
help
for
things
Earth.
turn out for the
Here we go.
best. And
always look on the bright side
Of life.
Always look
on the light side of life.
Alright.
If life seems jolly rotten,
I
there's
like
something
Mary's
you
like,
forgot.
life's a piece of
And
piss.
that's the sing.
All right,
Alright
guys.
guys.
Kaz, you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Be silly chumps.
Bye, everyone. I'll see you in 2 years.
All right. Kaz, good luck out there. I love you.
Oh,
Here, I'll take a bow.
Kazzy take a bow. Alright guys. We'll see you soon.
Yep. Mark and I will be back with more episodes of this charming Smithscast.
And we're gonna destroy it.
Yeah.
Like, as this plane goes down, we'll be back with more. Alright guys.
See ya.
See ya.
So always look
Alright.
right.